So if you've been watching a lot of Neville, Goddard and Wolf assumption videos, but you constantly find yourself being attracted to your specific person who doesn't like you back, who doesn't seem to show a lot of interest to you, who doesn't seem to express their love and affection towards you. Well, my friend, there is a reason for that. And the reason behind that is one single limiting belief that in this video we will discuss. I'll show you how I transformed it within myself and how I use this simple principle Neville Goddard talks about, that other people see you as you see yourself and others are just you pushed out. Well, we basically go deep into that concept, not only to understand it, but so that you can see how I applied it for myself. Like, you can resonate with my story, you can see the concept, how it works, and then at the end I will show you what you need to do to shift that once and for all, so that you don't have to meet with other people like with who you like, who you want to have some relationship with, who don't really like you back. So if this is something important for you, stay with me until the end of the video, and everything I'll share with you will bring you so much value in getting to that end result of attracting the specific person who also likes you back. So with that being said, let's directly begin. And let me know, my friend, if this is something that you have found yourself and you have experienced consistently. You get attracted to people, you get attracted to somebody, and like, you go on a date or two with them, and then you find yourself that you become more attached to them than they become attached to you. So in a way, you're the one who are pursuing them. You're the one who are constantly looking for more time to spend with them, constantly inviting them on dates and like to meet again and again. And you don't find the same attitude reflected back to you. So you don't find your specific person exerting the same amount of desire towards you. Have you found this to be true for you, for your experience? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if this is the case, because for me, I know this has been true for a lot of years. Like, I always found myself attracted to women who didn't like me back, who I was like, or they showed a little bit of interest, but never enough interest so that we can develop a like long-term and consistent relationship together. And I didn't know it. I didn't know why this was happening. It was like this inner anxiety that I had to battle with, because anytime I was around the women I liked, first I found it hard to express my desire. Second, I was like, my body was restricting. It was becoming stiff. It was like becoming contracted because I wasn't able to feel comfortable within myself. I wasn't feeling worthy within myself. And then, like, even though we had some form of relationship, it was never consistent. It was never like long term. I was always the anxious one who was like trying to fight and like trying to win the attention of my specific person so that he likes me back. And this position was like, it was keeping me stuck in my relationships, in my like romantic relationships, in this aspect in my life, because I was never able to be and feel confident within myself when I was around somebody I liked. So what I found out, like, because it was such a problem, this was such a problem for me, and I was like questioning, okay, why is that happening? Like, why do I have so many great inner qualities? Like, I like my mind so much, I believe myself to have so great inner qualities, but something in my body just doesn't make it feel attractive, doesn't make it seem attractive. And then one day I was just looking myself in the mirror and looking at my body and just staying there, just staying constant, looking at myself in the mirror, like with my body being naked. And I was just looking at myself and started to, like, without thinking anything, just looking purely to see how I felt for my body, what I believed about my body, because I knew my mind that I possessed some really great qualities, and like, women were more attracted to my mind than they were attracted to my body, because I was actually having one limiting belief of my body. And since I wasn't respecting my body, and this is what I discovered when I was looking at myself in front of a mirror, when I was staying in front of a mirror and looking at the reflection of me. So I was just looking there and seeing how I feel, and there was this feeling of restriction. Like I was trying to pretend to be more strong than I appeared to be, than I was. And so I found myself having this belief, and this belief was that I'm afraid that my body is weak. My body is weak. I don't like that. Nobody likes weak bodies. And so I found myself that I was identified unconsciously with this belief, because like from childhood years, like there were a lot of more stronger boys around me with whom I compared, and compared to them I was always the weak one. So, and I found myself being attached to this belief system, and looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, okay, is it possible that this way of seeing myself is what is putting me in a situation in which anytime I feel attracted to a woman, and she also feels attracted to me, but anytime like I want to go with this attraction further, and I want us to have some form of relationship, I just become too attached, too possessive, too needy. Is it because I believe my body to be weak, and I try to prove to myself that I am strong, that I'm always chasing after women so that I want them to, like, in a way, validate my feeling of being strong, that I was walking within myself? And so I asked myself this question, and was staying there looking at my reflection, and it was like, okay, it's like the chances are really high that this is the case. And so if this is the case, what can I do about it? This is the next question that came up. And I'm looking at myself. I already know that I have this belief. Okay, I'm afraid that my body is weak and this is not attractive to women. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, okay, what can I do about it? And I was already into like Neville Goddard's Law of Assumption, to Vadim Zeland, and to like many different teachers who are teaching manifestation. I was thinking to myself, okay, what if I could just shift that self-image completely? Like completely let go of that idea that my body is weak and put another idea on it. Like almost as if accept that this is the case, forgive myself that I have believed this about myself for a really long time, and then put another idea on top of it. And so this is what I did actually at the end. I was like, okay, I came up with this affirmation that made sense to me and felt true. So, and this is something interesting about affirmations, that they really need to make sense for you for them to work. Because if they don't make sense for you, if for example you use the same affirmation I will just give you as my example, and it doesn't resonate with you, like it wouldn't work. It needs to be something that feels true to you. So you need to pick the words in such a way that you make the affirmation true for yourself. So the affirmation that I have chosen for myself was the exact opposite of what I see into this in this belief. So like the belief was, I'm afraid that my body is weak and this is not attractive. And so I put an affirmation, I made an affirmation for myself that was like, my body is strong, my body is confident, like my body is strong, stable, sexy, and attractive. It radiates security, it radiates confidence, it radiates love. It radiates love, care, security, and confidence. And there are a lot of women who find it attractive. And so I wrote this down on my mirror, in the same mirror in which I found out about this limiting belief. And so then decided, okay, for 1 hour, I'll just stay in front of the mirror and repeat to myself out loud what I have written on the mirror until I start feeling it. So, and at first it was a little cringy, of course. It's like when you are trying to embody a new affirmation, like a new self-image about yourself, it's always cringy. So this is normal. If you also experience that, like, just keep up with it, because you can go beyond it. At some point you start exerting this other tonality when you're repeating this affirmation out loud, in which you like start becoming more confident in what you say. So it's normal at first that it feels a little cringy. And so I just stayed in front of the mirror, and like for 1 hour I consistently repeated that, but always trying to make myself believe it. So it was like trying to persuade myself that it was true. So at first it wasn't, and it was like my tonality wasn't like I was saying it and I wasn't believing it. It was like my body is strong, my body is stable, my body is yes, my body is strong, my body is stable. And exactly, see, this is the example, this is what happened. It was like, I wasn't able to recall the whole of it, I wasn't able to repeat it until the end. And by saying this consistently, at some point I was able to maintain the state of confidence while saying those words. And now let's remember what Neville says, that feeling is the secret. So if you're able to embody the feeling of your wish already being fulfilled, then it is the case. And so, like, people are just a reflection of you. So in my case, when I was finding my body to be weak, and there were no women attracted to it, but once I have done this exercise for like 1 hour, and like every week I was going to this organization with friends where we were going to hot pool, and like the sea is nearby, and so there are a lot of new people coming to this organization every week. And so the next week I went, I found myself that I was getting so much more looks to my body. So many people were starting to look at my body, and I knew that it already had some effect. And a couple of months later, when I was pursuing this relationship with a woman I like, she told me the same thing that I was affirming to myself when I was looking at myself in the mirror. So this is how it works. It's like you need to embody the feeling of your wish already fulfilled, because people see you as you see yourself. And if you don't find yourself to be attractive, well, you need to shift that self-image. So that's why I challenge you right now. Ask yourself, what do you believe about your body? Because, you know, when you want to be attracted, when you want to attract your specific person, somebody you like, well, you need to like yourself first. Are you likable? Do you believe yourself to be likable? And like, what is this? What do you like about yourself, and what don't you like about yourself? Because if you were like me, for example, I believed myself already to have some really great mental qualities, and like my character, I believed it to be really attractive. And like this has proven itself to be true within my business, and like within my other YouTube channel in Bulgaria that I did a while ago. So I knew myself, like I knew that my mind was really attractive to people. But when I was looking at my body, again, I was seeing my body as being weak. And so I needed to shift that self-image before I was able to get a reflection of other people liking my body. So this is how it works, my friend. This is what it means, like when Neville Goddard says it and when other people say it, other people see you as you see yourself. Your specific person sees you as you see yourself. So if you find your specific person to not be attracted to you, question yourself, what do I believe about my body? And if you don't find your body attractive, if you find it weak, if you find it if you're ashamed of it for some reason, of course you wouldn't be likable. But then, okay, change that self-image, like create an affirmation for yourself that you can write on your mirror and then repeat for some period of time until you start feeling it. And you can say confidently, my body is strong, it is stable, it is sexy, it is attractive. It radiates love, confidence, presence, and care for others. There are many women who find it attractive. And when you're able to say that with the state of already knowing that it is true, then it will naturally reflect. So it's all an inner game, my friend. So again, if you find problems of you attracting your specific person, this may be the reason, because you might have some unconscious belief systems about your body. And again, if I were to ask you this question now, what do you believe about your body? Comment down below and say that. It's okay to say it, because once you know it, then you can work on it. If you're ashamed of your belief systems, you cannot work on them. So first, you need to accept what you're afraid of, and then once you accepted what you're afraid of, create a self-image which is the opposite of what you believed yourself to be. Again, with my example, I believed my body to be weak, and so I created a self-image of my body like, okay, my body is strong, it is sexy, it is attractive. And so this made the biggest difference, because this psychological idea of my body allowed other people to be attracted to it. Because before that, it wasn't the case. I was sabotaging myself unconsciously because of that belief system. So my friend, this is how you try this out. Look at your belief system, look at what you believe about your body unconsciously, and shift it so that it's the opposite way around. Thank you so much for watching. If you, if you want to do this even, if you want to go even deeper into this concept, there is one other video that I made. Again, it's about the wall of assumption. When I will attach it here. It's basically about how you can maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and I share a great concept of how you can create stories for yourself so that you can maintain this feeling. So if you want to go deeper into that, click here, go to the video, watch it, and I'm sure you find it really useful, as I believe you did find this video to be useful. If that were the case, like it, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, because in this channel I'll be talking everything about metaphysics, about law of attraction, law of assumption, about healthy relationships, healthy relationship dynamics, intimacy, polarity, letting go, and everything about generally David Hawkins and Neville Goddard. So if this is something you find interesting, subscribe, and I would love to see you in the next videos. Thank you so much again, and bye bye.